Kalimera, kalispera, kalinichta, no matter where in this wild, wacky, and sometimes wonderful world you might be. Thank you for making the Highbury Squad part of your day. Well, the new season has kicked off. Has anything really changed? All that matters is 3 points. Right, squaddies? Let's rock and roll.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Well, the new season has kicked off, and here we are with our very first post-game show of the season. And I am delighted to welcome back to Squad Central, one of your favorites. For some of you, he riles you up as well. But welcome back, Mr. James Johnston.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
I'm better now that's ended. My God. I know every time I come back here, I look older and older and older. But I think I aged about 30 years in one game there.
Yeah, that's okay. Every time I come back here, I look sweatier and sweatier and sweatier and older and older and older. So I don't know why.
To quote your famous old co-host, Sophie. Oh, my God.
All right, we're going to get stuck into it. We slowly got the squaddies joining. Make sure you listen to our Chief Like Officer, Tammy Steels. Of course, hit that like button. We are very close to our target of reaching 20,000 subscribers. Good evening, Demsec. We will get to all of that. Good evening, Paul. Welcome to the show. Hello, John. I don't know what to say. Good evening, Carol. Good evening, Guy and Prosper. Ooh, are we going to prosper? Hello, Steve. Let's see. Ryan is here. PW is here. The whole fam jam is here. Thank you so much for joining us. Mohammed is here. Everyone's here. Maybe Arsenal didn't get the memo about the fact that the season has actually started. But at the same time, I don't want to go two-footed studs up Tony Adams style on today. And by the way, I made a huge mistake thinking it was sweatshirt and beanie time. So if you actually see, like in the Naked Gun, when Frank, is it Drebin? Anyway, Leslie Nielsen, no, it's the pilot when things go wrong and he starts sweating and it's just dripping off him. That will be me in just about 5 or 10 minutes. Not sure if the Arsenal team broke a sweat, but let's just get stuck in, shall we? Welcome to those listening on Apple and Spotify as well. The season has kicked off. And here's where I'm going to be. Here's how I'm going to start, James, okay? Old Trafford. This isn't me making excuses because I am going to go in two-footed in a minute. I just changed my mind in my head. Old Trafford, start of the season, tough place to go. Ugly performance. We win 1-0. We get 3 points. First 6 games are tough. I'm happy with the 3 points, but I'm not happy with the performance.
Yeah, I think that is the general consensus from most Arsenal fans. You'll obviously get the usual that, like you said, about going in two-footed. They will go in two-footed, 2 studs up. But again, Soph, and I don't know how many years now I've been coming on here. I've been elsewhere. I've been on my own channel. Arsenal have this habit, and they just can't seem to shake it off, that they will play either the occasion or the badge of the team that they're up against, but not the actual players that are in front of them. And I did not think that would be the case today. When the lineup come out and when I saw Man United's lineup, I looked at it and thought to myself, well, you lot should be chomping at the bit to have a real good go at them today. And I just think they got sucked in. I really do. I think that, Old Trafford hasn't been a cauldron for years, but yet whenever we go there, we still get intimidated and we still get shaky about it. So Yeah, it's again, I'm not going to whinge and moan about too much. 3 points, that's what I wanted. Clean sheet, can't moan. But at the same point, yeah, the performance left a lot to be desired. If that's going to be if that's the standard that we've set for the oncoming season, it's going to be a long old bloody year.
Yeah. Something made me sad today, and I want to know what you guys think about it. And I just want to have a very honest conversation about this. Okay. The fear of God was put in me when Tesco came on, because I was like, if he gets the equalizer and Gyökeres has been subbed, I might cry. I literally might cry as an adult woman, right? I've been involved in projects in my career and in jobs where you have a boss and the obvious is just sitting there right in front of this boss, but they make decisions and you say to yourself, why are they doing that? I feel like I'm being set up to fail here. And I said on the show many, many times in the last 3 weeks, Gyökeres is a beast. He needs food. He's a hungry man. Feed him. Don't feed him scraps. Give him a Thanksgiving turkey dinner, a Christmas Day dinner, one of those porterhouse for 2 meals, right? And I felt sorry for him in this game. Felt like he was running around like a headless chicken. The one time he delivered a beautiful ball, Martinelli decided to pull a Richarlison and didn't execute. And I just wanted to know what you guys think, because my biggest fear is that if we don't play to Gyökeres' strengths, we're going to make him look like a slug. And there were times today, James, where I felt like, of no fault of his own, clearly the man is athletic, he's explosive, he was hungry, you could see. I don't know what the disconnect was, and maybe you can help me here, and maybe the squaddies can too. And the same energy, if you're going to give Martinelli 0 points or you're going to say he did nothing, Saka was awful today. Martinelli was awful today. The midfield, I don't know what happened to Declan Rice today. Zubimendi was not the breaking the lines passing guy. Dare I say Odegaard was the best midfielder out there, and even though I don't super rate his performance, Gyökeres had nothing. He was like Tom Hanks in, what's the movie? Tom Hanks when he's Castaway, where he's on this island all on his own and he's got Wilson, right? And without Wilson, he's lost. He's scrapping for food. He's fishing. He can't figure it out at the beginning, but eventually he does, and he survives and he gets off the island. If we don't start feeding Gyökeres proper food, James, he will never make it off the island. He will look sluggish. He will look slow. He will look bang average. It's the first game of the season. Tell me what you think about what I've just said.
No, I think you're absolutely spot on. But what we tried to do was what I saw bits of in pre-season as well, where we were trying to ping long balls, and they read that from the off, because you got to remember, the guy who's in the dugout is the guy that saw this guy week in, week out for years, made him technically what he is now, that made Arsenal go out and buy him. So, and he's probably gone to all of them all week. Soon as he gets that ball, on him. And I'm not a De Ligt fan. I think De Ligt's one of the most overrated centre halves, Sophie, in the league. I really do. I didn't think he was good at Juventus. I didn't think he was good at Bayern. So I've always found De Ligt overrated. But he just was like, manhandle him. If you've got to throw him on the ground, throw him on the ground. Just do not let him get any breath, any space, anything. And, as well, I think, and myself included, when we've signed him, because it's what we've been missing for so long, you're expecting an all singing, all dancing, he's going to do everything. He's going to save us, because everybody's always gone, if Arsenal want to win the league, all they've got to do is buy a number 9. All they've got to do is buy a number 9. This has become the general consensus when there's more to just we need to buy a number 9. There was an immediate need for a 6, which we've done. We needed the 9, but there's also a glaring weakness out on the left. But I think we'll talk about that a bit later on. But yeah, for me, when Manchester City signed Haaland, okay, he started off really, but there were games where Haaland would touch the ball about 3 times the whole game, Sophie. But maybe out of 3 of those touches would be 2 goals. And that's what I think Arsenal fans are going to need to get used to. I don't think Gyökeres is going to be picking up the ball here. But like you said, until they understand, because these players haven't really had a conventional 9 with them since Aubameyang. And what was that, nearly 5 years ago? So they're not used to having somebody that plays on the shoulder that's going to do those sorts of things. The 9s that we've had ever since then have always dropped deep and allowed them to play further. Well, now they're being told, stay where you are and give this ball to this guy to play further. So there's going to be an adaptation. I mean, did I think he had a great game? Not really. But at the same point, people have short memories. You know, it took Dennis Bergkamp 7 games to score a goal. It took Thierry Henry 7 games to go a goal. If you thought this was going to click and he was going to bang 3, 4, 5 goals straight away in his first game, it was never going to happen. So, bit of patience, and we'll see what happens. If we're 5 or 6 games into the season and this is still happening, Sophie, then yeah, let's re-go for it.
Yeah,
but at the moment,
I'm not picking on Gyökeres here. I
know. Yeah, I know.
You know, of course, it takes certain players a while to kick in. What I'm saying is, some of those other performances of players of Arsenal in the past have been because it is a settling in thing. The dude had nothing to feed on today, nothing. And the one time he did, and he passed the most majestic ball to Martinelli, that dude decided to try and pull a scissor kick. So my point is with Gyökeres is he ran his socks off. He did everything, but because of everyone behind him, they made him look sluggish. They made him look a little average. They made him look like he was running the wrong channels. You know, it happened to Haaland a lot with City at times. You know, he's running the right channels. He's running, but he's not getting the ball, and eventually it all clicked and stuff like that. But for me, I just felt like you have a number 9. He's prolific, and this kind of, you know, it was just poor. It was poor. I rate Gyökeres above Saka and Martinelli today in the midfield. They gave him nothing. The poor guy was absolutely in no man's land. He had nothing. And I'm sorry, but, you know, Calafiori got the goal, and Benjamin White, who we've seen, you know, match up with Saka and has been brilliant. And that combination has been great. Defensively, the two of them are not as good as Miles Lewis-Skelly. They're not as good as Timber, but going forward, they are better. But they gave the guy absolutely nothing. I'm also going to bring in another podcast brother from another mother joining us after his live stream, Mr. Albert J. TV. Before we get to more comments, I wanted to read some stuff out. Arsenal Manic says Martinelli stealing a living at 180. 3 seasons of crap, does nothing good, can't beat the left back, can't pass, can't shoot. What does he do? Same problems as last year, says Jasper. Didn't get the ball forward fast enough. And Martinelli and Saka were extremely poor. Cunha and Mbeumo were much better. Mbeumo, what a debut at home for him at Old Trafford. He was maybe the man of the match. I'm glad for the 3 points, says Akiz, but I don't think it will mean much if we don't start playing better. G-Star says nobody is feeding Gyökeres. Rich says, good evening, Sophie Squad. He's watching the game from Vietnam, loving the 1-0 win. Loving the win, not the performance. Arsenal need a left-sided winger, says Arsenal Manic, and he adds a little to what he said earlier. Omar says a win is a win. That's all I care about today. How many times? Listen, by the way, Omar Harguna, I agree. But I feel like I've been saying this for like 9 months and waiting for the performance to kick in. So today, I'm going to take the 3 points. It's at Old Trafford, but the performance has to get better. There's no doubt about that. K. Marlon says, take the 3 points and run. Yep, fire up the jet. Paul says, we were not good enough, but we've managed to win. I'll take a lucky win every day this season. David Hilliard talked about that on Monday Madness. Would you take 1-0 ugly wins to win the league? Yes, I would. But also, these guys get paid a lot of money. At some point, they actually have to start playing football. We look better with Havertz, says Teng. Ryan says it was bad, so really bad, but we won. Toby says we need to get used to playing with a striker. Jesus, we need to get used to riding a bike without the training wheels. Perhaps we need a new manager because things are stale, says Boogie. Paul says everyone apart from Raya was terrible. Leon says Gyökeres is not himself, just a running man. Mark says really poor pass completion today. We made life far too difficult for ourselves. G-Star's blaming Arteta, and it goes on and on and on. Archangel says they don't know how to play with an out-and-out striker, Sophie. It will take time. I'm sorry. These are professional footballers. I just, what the heck? Okay, I'm going to go to work tomorrow. I'm a communication specialist, PR specialist. I'm in sports. I have to write a press release about gymnastics, but usually I write it about football. She's going to have to take time to write that press release about gymnastics. No, my core is I'm a communication specialist. I know how to write. Albert, welcome to the show. What say you?
It's great to be back. First game of the season. A watch along, which I'm not going to get back the hours for, to be honest with you. Yeah, that wasn't easy, Sophie, man. I cannot listen. Like everyone will say in the chat, and you two guys will say, a win's a win, clean sheet, a ground that we're not particularly very good at going at. I'll be honest. I don't think there was much difference from the performance last season. The only difference was we drew 1-1, and this time we won 1-0. We kept a clean sheet. At times, Sophie, I was going to say I want to pull out my hair, but I haven't got any hair because I've got a haircut. It's just, I think Mark touched on it. And I said it to you, Sophie, there's three main words I kept using. And I'll keep using them until I see some better bloody football. Copy, paste, repeat. Defensively in the first half, there were some really poor moments. But in regards to the final third and moving the ball. So if I don't care if it's first game in the season, it's awful. Absolutely awful. It's really poor. I'll be honest with you. If someone had said to me, Manchester United would have more of the ball than Arsenal in that first half, I wouldn't have believed you. Not from what I saw last season. Yes, I've not gone and watched Manchester United in pre-season, but I was surprised they had more of the ball than us, Sophie, to be honest with you. But people will say it's the first game of the season, but actually it's not, because for many people that watch Arsenal play last season, whether you was at the games or you wasn't, it's the sharpness is and our passage of play just in that final third. And going on to the Gyokeres thing, Sophie James, people in the chat, I saw what I saw today, and that's what I thought I was going to see. Yes, the man has scored 97 goals in 102 games, but he's not going to wave a magic wand. And I take James's point. We've not played with a striker in our side as a focal point for 5 years. As good as the players that we have at the club are already, it's going to take a bit of time. But having said that as well, and going back on and doubling down what I just said, we gave that guy absolutely nothing. I use Sophie's analogy. You have to feed the man some food. When you're getting into wide areas in particular, and you've got actually a guy that you can aim the ball at in terms of getting crosses into the box, again, it comes to, are you prepared to move the ball quick enough? And they don't do it. How many chances did you see Arsenal create in that first half? And in the second half? If someone can remind me of a clear-cut chance we created in that second half, please tell me, unless I completely missed it.
It was the Madueke one at the end, and that was it.
That was it.
Can I just?
That was right at the end. Right.
Can I just read this out? And also over 200 of you in live chat just here on YouTube, and hit the like button, please. This is something I was saying in my WhatsApp groups, which I may mute, by the way, when I watch football this season. I'm just saying, because it's a little bit too much. Saka did nothing. Madueke did nothing. But the Martinelli pylon continues because they've got nothing else to say. Listen, I think Martinelli made some poor decisions today, again, and we've seen it over and over and over. And I've said on this show that I truly believe that the creative plays have been stifled. The way we play, it's evident that there's a fear to how we play creatively. And I've defended Martinelli greatly on this show, and I feel like there's always a scapegoat, and there's no doubt Martinelli's the scapegoat right now. But the same energy needs to be put into Saka was awful today. Declan Rice was awful today. Ben White was bad today. Saliba in the first half was awful today. Yeah. Zubimendi was bad today.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay if you say, you know, okay, he didn't play well, but I'm sorry. Like, the others didn't play well either, guys. James, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go on.
No, you're spot on. And I take what Archangel says on board. I hope he didn't think that it was a pile on Martinelli, because I said to you, Sophie, at half time, I went, you can slate this guy's, you know, what he does in the final third and his GA. But in terms of someone that's going to graft and work, you know, he won us some really important fouls in that first half that got us to be able to reset when they were piling it on. So I'll never critique Martinelli's work rate and his effort, but we're a team that sadly really struggles to score goals. And when you're up that other end of the pitch, you know, okay, we got Gyokeres now, but also Mikel Arteta, his sides, he likes goals by committee sides, really. He doesn't in his head, he would rather have everybody score about 20 between them than have one guy that scores about 35 to 40. That would be his preference. And when that's the case, when you see stuff in that final third, like what Martinelli done today, you can't help but critique. I get it may feel like a pylon. And if that is the case, then I apologize. But I can only call what I'm seeing in front of me. And there were times today where in that final third, which, you know, we are desperately in need of a player for that position, Sophie. And I know people now are going to come in and go, oh, straight away, transfers. Our manager, since he come in, has wanted to improve that left-hand side. And he's continuously failed and failed again. And I've had people come to me and say, well, Madueke's the answer. No, he's not, because he's never proved he's good on the right-hand side at Chelsea. And you expect him to be good in the position that he's not even played in yet. And also, these Arsenal fans, Sophie, that say that Eze cannot play on the left wing, go back tonight and treat yourself to watch Crystal Palace versus Chelsea, because he absolutely spun Reece James like a hot point washer for 90 minutes.
James,
that boy can play on the left wing. He can play on the left wing, and you know what? He was one of the first in the league for balls into the box quickly. As soon as he gets the ball, he's playing it fast into somebody. That's what we need. That's exactly what we've been talking about for the first 20 or so minutes of this show. So hijack Tottenham, go get Eze, and we'll have much better talks in the next couple of weeks' time.
Hold the mayo on Meze for just a minute. Archangel, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, because you're my Aussie brother from another mother, and half the team has changed. Give it time. Excuse me. David Raya, Benjamin White, Saliba, Big Gabby, Calafiori, Odegaard, Declan Rice, Saka, Martinelli, Zubimendi, Gyökeres. They were the two players that were new that started today. Mm-hmm. Half the team has not changed at all. So that's a poor excuse. Let's talk about, I don't know where to start, to be honest with you. Perry says LOL. And I love Archangel. He comes out with some really great stuff. Missing Eze. Look, it's not going to happen. Eze's not coming to Arsenal. Right, Albert? He's not coming to Arsenal. It's not happening. It's a crime. Let me tell you something.
God, lad.
Okay, Albert, and then I'm going to hand it to you, because I've been a huge fan of Martin Odegaard. I defend Martin Odegaard. He's our captain. In those two seasons when we almost won the league, he was captain and it came close. I hear what Tony Adams said. We talked about it on the kickoff show and all of that type of stuff. At some point, you need this team to break the lines, to do something. It's the first game of the season. I'm not panicking. I'm just saying there's certain players where we've seen the movie a little bit before, right? And you can talk all you want about Eze. To me, in terms of transfer faux pas, this is the biggest since the plus £1. Albert.
I'm gonna try and speak about this without getting too angry, because you know my thoughts personally off camera about a particular guy people have mentioned in the chat. And unbelievably, I've actually seen some Arsenal fans say that we don't need someone like an Eze. I must be watching the wrong player for the last 4 years, or even when he's at QPR. Sophie and James, and people know me well enough, I've banged the drum about this type of player that we don't actually have in the Arsenal playing staff. But the problem is, and I always said it, that the elephant in the room is Martin Odegaard. And I made the point that it's not just about him coming back from injury and last season. I mentioned about the fact that the amount of times Mikel has hooked him as, you know, as your most creative player. That's not a good look. You can have off games, but I think to myself, if my manager is pulling me out of games and I'm the most creative spark in the team, and let's be really, really clear, I shouted so many times to my Man United friend, 3 key words of Arsenal: creativity, creativity, creativity. We struggle to create chances with Odegaard in the side, and the Eze thing is not going to happen. You know, because if Arsenal really had wanted him, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, I would even argue, if you're looking at someone of a player of his profile to make to be the game changer and to, as Sophie said, break the lines, he's a signing that should have come in before a potential Gyökeres or a Madueke. But then I come back to, did Arsenal really want him? Because I don't want to hear none of this talk, Sophie, we mentioned about blocking pathways. You buy the best in class, and those players that are the younger players, you earn your right to be in the team. The best example I could think of is Phil Foden. There were people absolutely crying, Sophie, for this guy to be in the Man City team. But Pep held off, not because he wasn't a good player. So if we're banking in terms of creativity on a 15-year-old boy and a 17-18-year-old kid in Nwaneri, from a manager who is he gonna play them? What circumstances are they going to be? Because so if we can go back to last season, when Arsenal were down to their bare bones, Nwaneri didn't even get a kick. 5 minutes, 10 minutes even, to be that spark that changes games. But listen, listen, the Eze thing, I'm not going to talk about anymore, because there's no point. I'm just going to work myself up into a frenzy, as James knows, in private conversation, because you guys know deep down how I really, really feel about that. And I'm not going to echo that on here, because there's no point, because he's not coming to us. And I said it before, and I'll say it again to finish up. You know what a fan I was of bringing Victor Gyokeres in. I banged on about him for over 2 years, and we got him. But I said, if you're going to bring him in, you have to bring in Eze. And if Arsenal don't make that happen, it is a grand failure. And it's not going to happen. And that's what I've got to say.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to get the stats, and my phone's going crazy. And I just got a text message from David Hillier, and it goes back to what he was saying about the purists not enjoying that win. and how many fans all could be complaining about a 1-0 win at Old Trafford. And I know he won't mind me saying that out loud. And listen, the 3 points are everything. But what I would say to David, if he was on the show,
not the win.
It's not about the win. It's about seeing the same thing over and over again. And this is how we're going to play this season. This is it. This is how we're going to play. And I'll tell you something. Havertz will start the next game. Gyökeres will not. Mm-hmm. And this is
that's bold. That's bold, Soph, because I disagree. I think he'll back Gyökeres because Leeds, unlike Man United today, like I said earlier, they won't make it personal. Ruben Amorim did not want Gyökeres dunking on him in his ground in the first game of the season. Leeds next week will give him. They'll give up way more space, and he'll probably look at it and go, "Do you know what? You all you need to do is score one, and then you're going to be off." So I think he will start him against Leeds next week. I think he'll back him.
I think it's a very smart point.
Because they're going to give him the room.
Let me flip this on the other side of the coin. Arteta kind of likes to be right too. Whether it's true or not that Gyökeres wasn't his guy and Berta wanted him and he wanted Sesko. We know he wanted Sesko forever and ever and ever. But this also these are the performances, that give Arteta the ammo to change things, right? But he only does that. Why don't you change Martinelli? Why do you keep persisting? Why? Because he loves the way he defends.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is Arsenal. And I'm going to drive myself crazy this season. This is why I'm saying to everyone, get used to it. David Hillier is right. If you win 1-0 ugly the whole season, are you going to care if we win the Premier League? Are you guys going to care? If you see this for, say, 22 games, are you going to care if we win the Premier League title? Maybe not this season, but the following season, you're going to want something a little bit sexier, a little bit more kind of total football, right? But he's in a way, he's right. Like, if you grind out these results, what do you care if you win the Premier League? It's because we haven't won the Premier League that Arsenal fans care, and because you want to see something different and an X factor to get you to the point of winning the Premier League, guys. That's where the rubber meets the road.
Come in, James. Come in, mate.
Yeah, no. I still think he's going to play him next week, and he'll do the same again. He'll give him an hour, and if he's not effective, he'll sub him again. Because if you don't let Gyökeres start next week, you've basically killed him before you're giving him a chance. That would absolutely crush the guy if you straight away don't put him on next week versus Leeds.
All right.
So I think he'll give him another hour. And I know someone put in there, it's not like Bielsa. Farke's more defensive than Bielsa used to be with Leeds and everything. Look, it's their first away game in the league since being promoted. They're going to be up for it, and they're going to, they're probably looked at Man United today and gone, well, unlike Liverpool and unlike Man City, and it's the same that David Hillier said to you the other day, and I agree. Nobody fears playing us. Because regardless of how good we can be, they'll still go, yeah, but they might give me a chance, Arsenal. I might get a chance somewhere against Arsenal. So I think there's going to be way more space next week against Leeds than what Man United afforded him today, because Amorim didn't want to be embarrassed by him. End of.
You know what's really interesting is I thought our bench looked brilliant today. I'm like, wow, that's an actual bench. That is Havertz on the bench, Lewis Skelly on the bench. You've got all these solid players on the bench. And in pre-season, the truth is our best player that gave us an X factor to change a game, 1-2 penalties, was a 15, about to be 16-year-old endowment. What I'm saying is I'd take the ugly 1-0s and you didn't need the game changer today. But this is a long season in a league that's tough, and you're going to play teams that are going to give you the opportunity to unleash the creativity and unleash the freedom. And I think as the season goes, right, you've got all of these options and you've got all of these players available to you. so many of the squaddies in the chat are saying, and Albert, you and I have talked about this a lot on the chat and stuff like that, is if the manager isn't adaptable, the team can't evolve. And today and in pre-season, we saw the way Arsenal were going to play. So I go back and I'm sounding like a broken record. This is it. This is how we're going to play this season, Albert.
Yeah, it is, because they say the manager, the team reflect the manager, and he's forever on a touchline. I'm not saying you have to be a manager that has to sit on the chair for 96 plus minutes, but it's just like I said, it's constant with Mikel. 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in, 10 minutes in. I think to myself, what are your players not getting that you've got to keep barking instructions like that? It's madness. But Sophie, I think for those that were maybe thinking, you know what, it's one thing saying as a fan, Mikel's got to change and be adaptable. But is he prepared to do it? Irrespective of personnel that's coming or the players that are already there. And I think I get what you're asking, and I think you should definitely...
This is a good question, Albert.
Do we still need more Norgards or better starters? We definitely need better starters. I know that for sure. James, come in. So you're going to say something? Go on.
We just need one. We all know where it is. Mikel, like I said earlier, Mikel Arteta knows where it is. Since he's been our manager, he's wanted to replace that left-hand side, and he still hasn't done it. And Sophie, again, and this is where I'll get a bit ranty, so apologise. I understand the club's preference is that we need a sale. We need to sell before we buy. No, we don't. That's a preference. That's not, that's not what we need to do. It's what you would rather we do.
Mm-hmm.
What you could do is go buy a player that plays on the left-hand side. Leandro Trossard was being given a new contract. Berta come in and went, rescind that. No, you're not. And now Trossard's got a new agency that are trying to pimp him out and get him to a different club. What you would do if you went and signed a new left winger now is go to Trossard. There's no pathway now for you at all, because Martinelli becomes the backup player and this new one becomes the starter. So you're getting nil point minutes. So then Trossard definitely goes back to his agent and goes, get me out of here. I'm only 30, 31. I've got nearly double in goals and assists every season since I've been at Arsenal in either one or the two. I don't know how there's no clubs in Europe that are making a bid for this guy. Liverpool have sold a guy that's barely played 2 games in the Premier League.
Yeah, Bendo.
All these other clubs can sell these players. This is the biggest litmus test now for this regime, is how we can sell these players. And people can blame who they want to blame, but the blame solely goes on the manager. And sadly, it goes on Edu for giving people silly contracts that they never earned or should have got. And also the way that we've utilised the loan system. People like Lokonga being loaned to Spain after he was loaned within the league to Luton. Why did we do that? Pointless. Fabio Vieira, why give him back to Portugal? Loan him within the league to somebody. There would have been a taker for him within the league on loan. Take him. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, James, you make a good point, and we've spoken about this, and I spoke about this with Sophie. Arsenal in terms of
just went solo and didn't even realise it. I like it. I might do this more often.
Well, just give me a bit of warning. That's fine. I'm joking. No.
Let's see what else we got here. Nothing, because there's no photo. Hold on 1 second.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
But James makes a good point, man, because we spoke about this privately in terms of these kind of things coming back to bite Arsenal. It's not on Berta, because some of them players were here before he come here. But you look at, like James mentioned, in terms of the boy going from Liverpool to Bournemouth. You look at James McAtee at Manchester City and potentially Rico Lewis, and even Chelsea managed to get money for Armando Broja. We've sold nobody. When did the window open? The 1st of June.
I don't put this on Berta though.
No, I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. No, I said that there's some of the players that were here, because the thing is, you have to. With someone like James McAtee, for example, he played towards the back end of last season for City, and then obviously he's part of a winning European Championship side with England. So when these players are in the shop window and people see them, it's easier to it's probably easier or better to sell them. Obviously because they're quality players, but for Berta to try and move on like the likes of Zinchenko and Lokonga and Fabio Vieira and Reece Nelson, I think the reality comes back to it, Sophie. No one don't want to buy them. Like there's either two things that happens. They're either loan for obligation to buy, or you get clubs that come in and lowball Arsenal because they're not going to go.
Yeah, but we've tanked their value. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah,
we've done it. It's all our own fault. Yeah,
yeah.
You know, we can only blame ourselves. That's the problem. That's what annoys me the most. Is we've tanked so many players' values over the last couple of years, and we're paying the price for it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. It's so relevant. And yeah, like Sophie's not, trust me, I'm the last person to put it on Berta, but even with his expertise, to try and move on these players, I think me and James have got more chance of starting a firm and try and moving these players on. It's just Arsenal put themselves in this position.
Yeah. Listen, in any business, if your assets are weak, you don't get ROI. And Arsenal, I'm hoping under Berta, when he has more, wind beneath his wings, will be able to sell on players for much more value and stuff. And you guys said it right. There are teams selling players, and you're like, how the bloody hell did they do that?
Even Tottenham got, for a guy that's supposed to be on his last legs, they still managed to secure 20 million plus for him. This is crazy.
Unbelievable money they got for Son. And what about what's his name? Hutchison. Omar Hutchison.
Yeah.
Who's paying that?
Who's his agent, Sophie?
Oh,
that's already started at Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
I
know.
It's an Edu and Kia special. Gracious. If there's any Nottingham Forest fans listening, which I don't know why you would be.
And they got the money in for Elanga. Yeah, and they got the money in for Elanga.
Brace yourselves, because you're gonna get a lot of these in the next couple of years where you're gonna go, why have we paid that for him?
It's just it's okay, it's fine. Listen, I want to get let's do this because when the game started, and by the way, well done to everyone around the league for all of the tributes to Jota. We talked about this on our show a couple of days ago. It was really beautiful to see. And, Godspeed and strength to a lot of the players who were affected by this. We've talked a lot about grief and how that can affect people and what it might mean for Liverpool going forward. Sorry. Right. Kroenke was at the game today. Look, he's had a little bit of a haircut. Look at Tim Lewis there, hands in pockets. Why don't you get some money out of those pockets, mate?
So be careful.
Write some checks, mate. Hey, come on, Tim. Team, as always, huddling. So nice, so cute. It's all lovely to see, isn't it, really? The goal went in. And you know what? I'm sorry, but why isn't Declan Rice delivering from every dead ball situation? Okay. And also, if it wasn't for their goalkeeper being shy,
oh my God,
would have been a ball draw today.
Sophie, I was on the watch along with my mate. He's called Dan as well. He lost it because Amorim is another one, Sophie. He turned around and said that Onana was he was dropped. It wasn't an injury. And the other goalkeeper had been good in pre-season. And then that happens. You couldn't make it up, Sophie. We'll take it. We benefited from it, of course. But yeah, listen, set piece FC, we started again, man. But listen, we'll take it. We'll take it. Jesus.
Mark, I don't know who told you Magic Mike got third top HS fan. Is there a bullshit poll going on in the chat? Because let me tell you something. He doesn't rank. Hasn't been around for a while. I'm going to be as ruthless. These are my non-negotiables, just like Mikel Arteta. All right, let's just do some fun stuff. I don't know if it's fun, but I guess we have to. Is there a player of the match, kids? Is there?
David Raya, easily. Easy. Wouldn't have won it without his saves.
And he started off shaky.
Yes.
Oh my.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he did that one save from the flank. Oh my God, that was a great save.
And then
that was a really good save. All right, so squaddies, let us know who your player of the match is in the YouTube comments on replay. Let us know who your player of the match is. You know, if you're listening to this on replay or on our audio platforms, it sounds a little depressing. I'm starting to feel like this sounds a little bleak. And it's the first game of 38. And I'm wondering, like, why does it sound bleak? Why?
Because, Soph, you've watched the other two people that are the main contenders, and they've gone, slap you 4. You've watched the others yesterday. We're going to slap you by 4. Arsenal goes, hold my beer, and we'll stress you out with a 1-0 win.
That doesn't help. You're right. That's a good point.
Yeah. When you're seeing your competitors being so free-flowing and everything that they're doing is coming off and everything, and we still look like we're in a massive transition, you can, again, I know people were saying, and you're saying it sounds a bit bleak, and Sophie, you can only say what's happening in front of you. And unfortunately today, yes, you can extrapolate the positives and try and hide the negatives, but there were more negatives than there was positives. And we still won. And we still won. It reminds me of that FA Cup final. I remember watching that in the pub with my dad going, how the hell have we won that, Dad? And he went, I don't know, but I don't care. And that's sort of how I feel today.
Sophie,
I don't know how we've done it. And I don't care how we've done it.
Sophie, you know what it is? It'd be interesting when you have like you have one of your streams after like about 6 games in the Premier League or 7 games, and then see how the mood is then, because we said 18 points on offering it. So I said minimum Arsenal need to get 14. We've got 3 today, so bring on the next 11 points.
You know what? There's more fight in the live chat as to who's the number 1 squaddie than there was at Old Trafford today. I'm gonna say yes. I you know, the Odegaard thing. This is the thing, right? There's oftentimes I talk about players who work in the shadows, and Kai Havertz for me had been that player before last season, those previous 2 seasons, when people were ragging on him because he comes in, everyone wants him to be this prolific number 9. He's not a number 9. He's set up to be a number 9. Mikel didn't buy him as a number 9, played him as a number 9, should be playing in the midfield in some role, but he is who he is. And yet he worked in the shadows, unappreciated, dark arts, shithousery, off the ball, fights. He, to me, is the epitome of, you know, a player that works in the shadows. Martin Odegaard, sometimes they want him to be messy. He's a number 10. The 10 is a sexy role. He should be like Ronaldinho. He should be like this guy. And he's more functional than fancy, right? And he works in the shadows. And even though I do not think he was player of the match today, I thought he was wasteful with the ball. There are times where he works in the shadows. And maybe, guys, as a number 10, you shouldn't be in the shadows. You should be in the sun. Maybe that's the problem.
I think he grew second half. I think second half he was much better than he was in the first. And next to Calafiori, for me, I think he was one of the most, you know, he was arguably one of our most productive outfield players. But that's not saying a lot when everybody else had a stinker. Do you know what I mean?
He wasn't great.
Yeah.
How do you okay, so the fact that Archangel is telling everyone to chill is insane to me, because he's the number 1 guy who wants what has happened to you? Have you met up with Georgie George there somewhere in Perth in Australia? It's not summer yet, so the sun can't be getting to you. Are they Stroth, mate? I mean, I don't know what's going on, but let me tell you something. You're really freaking me out today. No doubt about that.
So it's okay. So see how they feel after you play Liverpool, possibly. Who knows?
I think you guys explained it real well. How do you rate Mikel Arteta today? Tactics, subs, all the rigmarole. Let me read this to you real quick. Team stats. Manchester United had 22 shots on goal.
Yeah,
we had 9. They had 7 on target. We had 3. Possession, 62 to Man United, 38 to us. We know that we were happy to do that. They had 476 passes. We had 296. Their pass accuracy was 82%. Ours was 75. They conceded 10 fouls. We had 19 fouls. 4 yellow cards for us, 1 for Manchester United, no red cards. 2 offsides for us, 1 for them. 4 corners for us, scored from 1, 3 corners for them. JJ, what do you say about Mikel's overall rating, how he managed the game, in-game management, subs?
I think, again, and people in the chat are saying it, the subs are a bit obvious and they're like for like. Well, they are what we've got. Unfortunately, that's what you're going to have. And I mean, Havertz, when he did come on, I think you saw what the initial game plan would have been for Gyokeres looked better, because obviously Havertz is better at holding the ball up than Gyokeres is. Not that Gyokeres can't hold. I was seeing a general consensus, especially from even the people on Sky, that he can't hold up a ball at all. Nonsense. I've seen him hold up a ball. But obviously Kai Havertz, taller frame, he's clearly been putting the work in, and he's using that frame a lot more. And he's got competition now. Kai Havertz used to walk into that side and he was first choice. He's not now. So he's definitely going to work a lot harder. But yeah, for me, Arteta, he got away with one, like we all did. He's got out of there. He'll be happy that he's got out of there with the 3 points. But yeah, there'll be a lot of work this weekend in that analysis room, because there were points in that first half where there were players that were open wanting the ball, and people were holding on to the ball too long, or their passes were astray and everything else. And you put the passes that, Man United getting nearly 200 more passes off than we did. And we're meant to be a side that's way ahead of what people talked about earlier about, the team dynamic has changed at Arsenal now. Well, Man United has changed completely they put basically all of their new players on, and they look like a team that had been in less of a transition period than this Arsenal side is. But yeah, there's lots to work on, and we'll get it right. Leeds next week. Like I said, if we're here in 3 or 4 games' time having this conversation,
yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
But at the moment, we're all good.
Albert, your quick analysis for the gaffer, and also Neri just cannot get a game, Albert. Cannot get.
Well, this is Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, isn't it? I don't know if he's in the chat, Sophie, or not, but yeah.
Bill Murray?
Could you imagine if he was? That'd be amazing. But,
that would be special.
Yeah, it's kind of, Sophie, listen, what I saw from Arsenal today in terms of the way they played wasn't a surprise. Repeat what kind of James said, really. The substitutions were not a shock when they happened. I think we're a bit fortunate that some United fans are furious because they wanted Sesko to start. And actually, maybe if he had started, they would have taken a couple of them opportunities a bit more better in the first half. Because Mbeumo and Cunha were good today, man. Really, they'll give some teams some problems this season. But Sophie, I'm gonna be honest, I live in hope in terms of how we move forward in terms of the attacking side of it. Defensively, we'll be strong. I've no problem with that. But I just think get that relationship and dynamic going with Zubimendi. First starts in the Premier League proper. I think he found out what it was like a little bit today, but that's gonna happen. So hopefully Ethan will get some game time as well.
Yeah, I think it's 1 game in, the sky's not falling, we're not killing everyone, we're just talking about what we see. You say what you see, right? It's like when the police say, what is that saying, Tony? When there's trouble, say what you see, report it, see it, report it, whatever it is. You got to do that. And by the way, Josh is always invited here. So if he's spewing, like a little verbal on another show, we'll sort him out. The Brighton fan in the house here. Okay, a couple of housekeeping things before we get to some final bits here. The Highbury Squad, I want you guys to check out the website. Go to highburysquad.com. And in the home banner, and I'm going to share it on the community page and stuff like that. We're starting a blog this season, and we're going to be doing post-match reports. We're going to be doing some features, maybe some interviews as well. Old school written shit. Yeah, how about them apples? Old school written shit that goes beyond just a headline. If you go to highburysquad.com, check it out. Our website has had a little bit of a reboot, and we'll be adding. There's an article there that Patrick wrote about captains. I think it's the captains one. Anyway, there's going to be 2 or 3. And if you would like to write and contribute to the highburysquad.com, you have a say and you enjoy writing, then just email me, thehighburysquad@gmail.com, thehighburysquad@gmail.com. I think you guys will enjoy it. In fact, you know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to do like a thing where I actually put it in the chat. How about them apples?
Also.
Yeah. So we're leveling up this season. We're going to be doing quite a few different things. There's going to be some video content as well, pre-recorded stuff that comes out. Our Inside the Dressing Room series is back, and I did a really fantastic interview with US men's national team legend, Sheffield Wednesday legend, John Harkes. We talked about captaincy, the controversy in the US men's national team. We have a lot of us US fans as well that watch this show, and also the Tony Adams, Odegaard stuff. We got John's take on the upcoming World Cup next summer and a whole bunch of other stuff. He's an awesome interview. That will be going up soon, so watch out for that as well. Let me put this in the chat. You guys enjoying the housekeeping section? Is it more exciting than the actual game? Oops, that's not it. Anyway, I'll put it on the community page. But I'm really excited about the writing stuff and bringing more stories and kind of layered conversations in old school print form, as well as we do here on the show, you know, with our post-game shows and all the other content. Here's another one for you. Tomorrow, Monday Madness is back, drive time version. So we'll be kicking off at 5 p.m. UK time. That is 5 p.m. UK time, Monday Madness, radio style. So you'll be seeing this a lot for Monday Madness this coming season. I'm going to be doing it more like a radio style with several guests popping in and out for 10 to 12-minute interviews. I hope you guys will enjoy it. Tomorrow, we have Harriet Pryor from Sky Sports News coming on to talk about the Premier League kickoff. We've got Aaron Paul coming on from BBC Breakfast Radio London to come on and talk a little bit about, you know, the Premier League, but also Paul covers the Championship. I don't know. I've been obsessed with this Birmingham show and Tom Brady, and I've started watching Birmingham. So, you know, I like talking about things outside of Arsenal as well. Now, on a Monday Madness show, we'll focus a little bit on everything. And then to wrap up our guests for Monday Madness, we are welcoming Keith Hackett. The ref is coming back. So, guys, get ready. Get ready for questions for Keith. There's the controversy today at Stamford Bridge at Anfield. So we'll be kicking off our Monday Madness Drive Time series for the new season, 5 o'clock UK time. Please come and join. Then on Tuesday, much to everyone's chagrin probably, and some not, Get Off the Potsy returns, a once-a-month hookup with Dan Potts. Five non-negotiables for the Arsenal. He'll deliver his 5 points. Some of you love him. Some of you hate him.
So if it's a good thing I'm a mod, I'll tell you that. If I catch that show.
Albert, I hope you're free on Tuesday at 7 o'clock.
That's going to be the easiest show to do because it's just 1 point 5 times. That's all you. There's just one. There's one non-negotiable, and you just got to do it. You just say the same one 5 times. That's the easiest show. Fair play to him. That's a great gig to have. I'd have loved that gig.
Listen, let me tell you something. This is, and some people are like, why are you bringing him on? Why are you bringing him on? You know why? Because on Thursday, this is how I mix and match here on Highbury Squad. You guys know how I do it. So you're getting Keith Hackett on Monday, you're getting Harriet Pryor from Sky, and you're getting Aaron Paul from the BBC. Then you get Potsy on Tuesday, all right? So it's like going for some of you, it'll be like 4 seasons, then Butlins. Some of you will be Butlins 4 seasons, depending on how you look at it, right? But then on Thursday, I give you the Shangri-La people. Yes, dogs. Vinny and Vespa know. On Thursday, our good friend Rebecca Lowe from NBC Sports returns to Squad Central. And on Thursday, we actually have a double bill. Rebecca will be on at 10:30 a.m. Pacific. So that's 6:30 UK time. I promised you guys, like, you know, a debrief on the shows coming up this season and this week. So Rebecca will be on at 6:30 UK time. Then at 8, again, Marmite or not, I'm introducing a new show called The Roundtable. And The Roundtable will be a discussion with other podcasters, other Arsenal YouTubers, and sometimes outside of Arsenal as well. And for the first show of The Roundtable, we have Harry Symeou and Tom Canton.
Marmite or not? Sorry, are you trying to cause a meltdown on them? Oh my god! I'm definitely going to be in the mods for that one. Jesus Christ, man! Yeah. So if you need to make James a mod, you need to make everyone a mod.
Need to make everyone a mod. So that's the show for this week. I'll put it out on the community page. Some really fantastic and great guests coming up. And of course, for the Liverpool game, we will welcome back the legend that is Stevie Nicol. We talk to him twice a year whenever we play Liverpool. Warren Barton will be back for the Newcastle United game. And I promise some very special guests as well for when the women's season kicks off and our Arsenal women's show kicks off as well. So that is it. Was that more exciting than the game? I think so.
It was, Soph. It bloody well was.
What's your wrap up? What's your exit, you guys? Other than the brilliant guests that we've got coming up this week on Squad Central. And I'm really excited about the Monday Madness Drive Time. No one really does a drive time show. And I'm really into this. So I hope the squaddies are as well. You guys can let me know. But James, what's your takeaway? What's your takeaway for the squaddies today?
We didn't lose. So, keep smiling and we roll in. Exactly. We roll into, that's what friends are for, tune. We roll into next Saturday against Leeds. And hopefully we will see more goals and a better performance. That's all I can ask for. But yeah, thanks everybody. And if I upset you, like I upset quite a few, apologies. But if you enjoyed it, then cheers. Yeah. Thanks.
See, it's already started. Like, no, not Canson. Some people love him. Gary loves Canson. And then Harry and Tom are similar. I don't think so. Not lately, they're not. And I'm not the same as them. Not. So let me tell you, it's going to be very bloody interesting. Vinny and Vespa are wonderful dogs. Is Dan Potts that polarizing? It's his panels and panelists. That's true. Probably. Get Potsy on Tuesday. It's curable.
Dan's done his reaction already, I think, for today's game. Sorry.
Rebecca is a wonderful woman. The dogs speak.
Amazing.
Even the dogs say no to Dan.
Yeah. When they was barking, he actually did put that chat in, Diallo. He did.
Damn potty pots. I love it. Bring it on. Go on, Albert.
Firstly, I have to give a plug to my brother from another mother, James. So people, please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to put in the link chat now. It should come up. Hopefully. Show him some love, man. Show him some love. Sophie, listen, clean sheet. We've got David Raya down for the Golden Glove. I think we both have, actually. So that's a good start. Listen, like I said, I think the performance wasn't great, which was a bit of a carbon copy of what we saw last season. But I'd say get through these sort of first 6 crunch games, and then we'll definitely get a better feel for how our mood's going to take us for the rest of the season. Because Arsenal fans, put the tin hats on, strap in. It's going to be a hell of a ride, man. It's going to be a hell of a ride. So we'll see, and I'll take some extra time out of YouTube to get over a certain player not coming to our club. Sophie and James, you have to help me with that.
You know what I'm going to have to do?
It's not over until it's over, Albert.
Sophie, don't do that, for Christ's sake, man.
I've got to delete all the thumbnails, all of them from the past, every single one of them.
Until the ink is dry. Do not
like this one.
This is going to be really
got to delete
painful.
all of these. All of these have got to go. They've got to go. Last sale, Del Boy style. Yeah. I'll give you going once, going twice, going 3 times.
I need to get out of my system badly, man. Seriously, to see him in that shirt, James. It's gonna hit different, man. I'm telling you.
I tell you one thing, I'm done with. I'm done with transfer shows. I ain't doing it.
Same here, man. I'm done. Forget
about it. I'm done with those. I'm ready
for. You've only got a fortnight. Don't worry. It's not
real football conversations. Ready to rock and roll, Highbury Squad style, bringing you content that goes beyond the buck and beyond who's signing, who isn't, because it is what it is. We can't control it. And at the end of the day, we love our team. We're going to support our team. We got 3 points at Old Trafford today. Criticism aside and poor performance aside, hopefully we'll improve from here and only get better. And it'll be fun to watch the Arsenal. But like David Hillier said, who wouldn't take 1-0s and ugly wins if it means winning the Premier League? Jekyll, we're Hyde. That's how we were last season. Premier League, Champions League. Who do we want to be? I think we just want to be champions. Exactly. I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Live and bright at 5 o'clock UK time. Got some fantastic stuff coming up. Keith Hackett in the house, Harriet from Sky, and Aaron, as I said. And you guys, without you guys, the Highbury Squad isn't possible. Tell the kids what you've got coming up this week before we duck out. Here is, if you are not following these two lads and you're living under a rock, you can follow LL Cool James 91, Albert JTV. James, tell them about your podcast as well.
Yes. So James Johnston Football. If you go on the Twitter page, all the links are on there. There will be the first episode of the Arsenal show this week, where I will try and recap this Man United game again. Again. Yeah, I'm a gluttony for punishment. And then, the Premier League recap will probably be back sometime this week on there as well. So it's not just Arsenal, it's all of football. And then lastly, he will not forgive me if I don't do it. The Brother One Stone, Spotify, Lemuria, new EP out now. If you want some easy listening for your Sunday night before you go to bed after the football, chuck it on. It's there. Go listen to it.
I love it.
Three rework tracks, one brand new track. How can you not want to, how would you not want to listen to that? I wouldn't know why.
You tell him that we need a theme tune here at Highbury Squad. He needs to work on that this season.
Yeah, go on. Tell him, James.
He is available. He is available. So, yeah. But he can't come on and talk football, I'm afraid, if that was something that you would
No. But I mean, he could do
You can ask him about 1998, but anything after that, Sophie hasn't got a clue.
He could do a theme tune for us. He doesn't need to know football about that. He just needs to bang out a tune. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, that he can do. That's something he's very good at.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Part of me doesn't even want to go. I want to carry on talking about just like stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like,
what are you having for your dinner?
Today, yesterday I had moussaka. It was so good. It was so good. I mean, you could have rolled me down like the Pacific Coast Highway, but I had the moussaka and it was great. And I was actually noodling on today. What am I going to do after this? I fancy a lazy day, Vinny, Vesper, Tony, watch a really crap film from the 90s. Yeah. Something like that. And then maybe today we could go like ribs. Eh?
Yeah, bit of DoorDash and Conair. Yeah. Some DoorDash and some Conair,
James,
yeah?
I'm still waiting for the last installment of Mission Impossible, which is going live tomorrow. So
Tony was asking, when is that? Is that out tomorrow? Mission Impossible?
I think it's pre-order, tomorrow. You can.
Ooh, now we're talking.
I love that. I love the Mission Impossible films.
So Tony's like, happy Monday. So
go on, Tony.
I had the pleasure of working with Tom Cruise on Minority Report. And there's another time that I kind of worked with him, but I'll save that story for another day. I was like, man, here I am with Maverick. No matter what you say, he's Maverick, right?
Yeah.
Flanagan for me.
Flanagan.
What a film.
Oh,
what a
Cocktail.
Ethan Hunt for me, always, to be honest.
Listen, Cocktail is a gem of a movie. I'm going to park the Scientology, just like I park wearing Nikes, or whatever. Just going to park all that.
Yeah. And
this was the show I promised the squaddies, where it was, you're not allowed to talk about football. You just have to talk about like film, TV and entertainment. Newman, Sophie's you know what? You'll be surprised, but I am. It's true. I am smaller than Tom Cruise, but he's small. Let me tell you that. But he was a pure gentleman. Pure gentleman.
Yeah, his hair smells of feet. He's that small, yeah.
True gentleman. Harvey the Greek is saying have louvier. Louvier is like kale, like a kale bean casserole. It is much, much healthier. Right now, we're just going, off on one. And by the way, Matty K apparently got us drunk like a pirate last night. I'm not going to ask who you were with, but was it a mutual friend, Matty K? You know who I'm talking about. All right, I think that's it. What are you guys doing? What are you eating tonight? What's happening, real quick, before we go? I can cut this part out for the audio platform, by the way.
I'm not sure, Sophie, because I'm going. This will be my triple stream in about an hour's time. I'm going live on my channel. It's going to be a very short recap, man, because I can't spend another 20-30 minutes talking more about Arsenal. So I'm going live at 8:30 tonight on my channel after the.
Should I? Okay, well, put it in the link. Let everyone know. It's a shame we can't do what is those the kids call these days? A raid.
What the raid?
I want to do that one day.
A
I want to do a raid. I want to redirect, man. I want to do a raid. I want to get down with the YouTubers, man. Get more popular. Do a raid. Fucking hell. Oops. Did I just swear? I did.
You did swear on your channel. This is appalling.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And by the way, should I be offended by these mofos right here? She's the same size as He-Man figures from the 80s. I mean, come on.
He-Man, Jesus.
Yeah, that's okay.
Your arms aren't that big. That's really offensive.
No, I know. Well, yesterday someone called me a man, so I binned him and told him to F you, but he was a Spurs
I've
fan.
looked at the comments and I've had Billy Connolly, I've had Hagrid, I've had Jesus once or twice. Billy Connolly was a new one.
Come on, Meatloaf is the best one. Meatloaf. If you're not,
there was one Meatloaf. There was one Meatloaf.
Harvey says raid some random channel. That would be hilarious.
That'd be weird.
All right, kids, we're going to go off now for real. It's been beautiful. Our Arsenal won, even though we don't like none of it. And there's no man of the match other than David Raya. Odegaard gets a little kind of bow for me. Gyokeres hopefully will come good in the end. Tony's she goes, Raya was an idiot. Only one time, sweetheart. Only one time. First half. Until tomorrow, see you at 5 o'clock for Monday Madness. James, Albert, thank you so much. Love you guys. Love you. Don't forget to tell your loved ones you love them. And until tomorrow, people at ease, at ease. Have a good munch.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Like Harvey's comment.